The Viper in the King's Garden. A story of wisdom. A long time ago, in a big and beautiful kingdom, there was a special garden inside the king's palace. This garden was the most beautiful place in the whole kingdom. It had colorful flowers, tall trees, and sweet fruits that made the air smell like honey. Birds sang, the wind was gentle, and everyone loved walking in the garden. But something dangerous was hiding there. One morning, the king went to his garden. He stopped and looked around. His beautiful flowers were dying. The trees didn't look fresh. The sweet smell of the garden was gone. The king was very angry. "Who is harming my garden?" he shouted. The royal gardener, an old man named 𝗬𝗍, bowed his head and spoke softly. "Your Majesty, there is a viper in the garden," he said. "A viper, a deadly snake." Everyone gasped. The king's face became serious. "A viper? Then why has no one seen it? Where is it hiding?" 𝗬𝗍 shook his head. "The viper is very clever, my king. It moves silently in the night. But every morning I see a trail near the oldest tree." The king became impatient. "Guards, catch the viper at once." The guards searched the garden for many days. They looked under bushes, inside trees, behind rocks. But they could not find the viper. Then a young boy's voice came from the crowd. "I will catch the viper," said Leo, the gardener's apprentice. The royal guards laughed. "A small boy. How can you do something we could not?" But the king was curious. He looked at Leo and said, "Fine try." Leo was young, but he was very smart. He watched the garden carefully. He saw something no one else noticed. The viper wasn't hiding randomly. Every night it moved in the same way, always toward the sweetest fruits. So Leo made a simple but smart trap. Under the oldest tree, he placed a basket full of fresh fruits, mangoes, grapes, pomegranates. The smell was so sweet that even people walking by could feel hungry. Then he waited. That night, as the garden was quiet, something moved. A shadow slid across the grass. Two small shiny eyes appeared near the basket. The viper smelled the fruit. It could not resist. It slowly entered the basket. And then, bam! Leo quickly closed the lid. The viper was trapped. The next morning, the whole palace came to see the viper. But then, something unexpected happened. The viper spoke. "Please don't harm me, O king," it hissed in a soft voice. "I am not your enemy." The king was shocked. "Not my enemy? Then why are my flowers dying?" The viper slowly curled its tail and said, "Because the real poison is not in my bite, but in the soil of this garden." Everyone gasped. Leo, standing nearby, frowned. He had noticed something strange earlier. "Your Majesty," he said slowly, "the plants near this tree are dying faster than the others. Maybe something is wrong with the soil." The king's eyes widened. "Dig up the soil," he ordered. The workers dug deep and discovered the poisoned earth. The king turned to Leo with admiration. "You have great wisdom, my boy. Not only did you catch the viper, but you also noticed what others did not. Instead of fearing the snake, you looked deeper for the real problem." That day, the royal workers again dug up the complete garden and discovered something shocking. Beneath the roots of the plants, there was poison in the soil. The flowers were not dying because of the viper. Someone had been secretly poisoning the garden. A jealous noble, who did not like the king's beautiful garden, had been mixing poison into the soil to destroy it. The truth was hidden beneath their feet all along. The guilty noble was punished. The garden was cleaned and restored. And the viper, the king did not kill it. Instead, he let it go free, far away from the palace. From that day, the kingdom became not just more beautiful, but wiser. Not everything that looks dangerous is bad, and not everything that looks good is safe. Always look deeper to find the truth. Did you enjoy this story? If you love listening to motivational, inspiring, and suspenseful stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Unique English Stories. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new story. Comment below, what did you learn from today's story? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay inspired, stay curious, and see you in the next story.